Hi, friends. I did this very last minute, so I'm hoping that some people will show up because I really did make the decision last minute, like last night. I knew that I needed to come in and do a quick sale because it's the third week of the month. It's a rough time. My Wednesday sale with Jenna, we were up against a lot of regularly scheduled people and then a drop sale with people like Miss Pamela Blanchard and others. And so I was like, well, I'm going to make up for that deficit and just do that sale all over again by myself this weekend. But then I was like, so sorry. Can't ever turn my phone off because of my dad. Sorry. But that was just spam. But then I was like, instead of doing the whole sale, because I have two and now I'm adding a third sale next week, it's like, let me just bring, the big items, the more, high end for me that I would bring, and just do a quick drop and try to get it done before Trisha's show tonight, Friday, that I always go and hang out at. And I hang out at some other people's place too. Hi, Dandy. Yay. Thanks for coming, lady. You are so much fun, Dandy. I'm talking at your chat like, we're having a conversation. All the time, and I lean in when I'm excited, and it's like, girl, what are you doing? Thank you, honey. I'm just kind of rushing and in a mess today. Hi, Becky. Hi. So anyway, I just thought I'd bring those items, and I thought, at the end, if anyone is here and would like to, and even if there's only a couple people here, I think I'm going to go ahead and just do an introduction to me and vintage jewelry, because that was my first love. It is my biggest love. And I was going to sell only vintage jewelry on Whatnot. And what I have to say about Whatnot is, for me, at this time in my life, Whatnot takes too much energy. I have to take photos. I have to upload them. I have to decide if it's buy it now or if you can pre-bid. I have to move things from my store every time, make them active again. They take a big fee. I have to ship out within 2 days, on and on. And I decided, why am I doing that? Why am I doing that when, in fact, I can just sell vintage jewelry, one sale a week right here? So I'll give you, I have a couple baggies, and I'll just pull it out and show you examples, and an example of a price if you want. If someone is in here and they're like, hey, you know what? I love that. I would like to buy it right now. How much? I'll tell you. Otherwise, it'll just be a show and tell. Okay? So who am I? Some days I don't know. Today, I am Lucinda. This is my channel, Fantastic Finds. I'm honored and appreciate so much. Hey, Miss Karen lady. I honor and appreciate so much that you popped into my sale. It's going to be short, but interesting. I ship from the San Francisco Bay Area. When I am home once a month, I ship from Mendocino County, Northern California. Same thing. I bill through PayPal. If you don't have PayPal, you can check out as a guest. And I use Pirate Ship to try to keep your shipping costs down. I generally would like to hold your box for the whole time that I'm at my father's house as a caretaker. So that's 2 or 3 weeks. That way, you get more items and reduce shipping. Howsoever, if you don't want that, Then if you bid and win an item, you always got to email me your information, your real name, your YouTube name, your address, and your zip code, and your PayPal email. Or if you don't have one, we'll set it up so you can check out as a guest. And within that email, you can say, I don't want to wait 2 weeks. I want it now. That's fine. I'll get it out to you within 5 or 6 days. I usually invoice Sunday or Monday after the sales during the week and ship Tuesday, Wednesday morning. Okay. Anyone have any questions for me? Everyone doing pretty good? It's a nice day here. I was just out walking my dog and I got myself a honey almond matcha. And I'm feeling kind of sassy. So I hope everyone else is doing something that's making them feel kind of sassy today. I don't always have sassy days, so it's nice. Side note. I always forget that Pete's doesn't have a plastic with a sip. So you must get a straw. And in the Bay Area, you can only get paper straws, which is fine. I'm all about the environment. But the paper straws start breaking within about 20 minutes of being in your liquid. And I can take up to an hour to drink this. So this is my reminder to me today to start bringing my own reusable metal cups, of which I have a dozen. Okay, so you all help me to stay on track with not going through the breakable paper straw and all this plastic, recycling it or not. Metal cups. Dandy. You like vintage jewelry? I love vintage jewelry. I mean, it is my, here I am. I've had this piece for 40 years. I recently bought this piece from Sandy Spiff. This was made by a friend of mine in a place called The Crucible here. I've had this spoon ring for 40 years. What else? These are gold bracelets from my great aunt Ho Ho and my grandmother, and 2 newer gold Indian bangles. Yeah, so hashtag bring back the brooch has been a real thing for me for a long time, because that's what I enjoy. And these are technically vintage at this point. They're blue opal chips, and they're about 35 years old, but they're not vintage. So, okay. Yes, Sandy, I am. And Sandy, I'm wearing that. I love it. The other 2 I left at my homestead. So, as a surprise for me when I get back, I deliberately didn't bring it and open it. The other 2 rings. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I will take another sip of the thing with the failing straw. I mean, literally, it just, okay. I'm just going to put it over here and move on. All right. So I brought these items, except for a couple, Wednesday. I had a great time with Jenna, Southern Siren Vintage. If y'all don't know her, and I'm sure you do, go follow her, pay attention. She's so much fun. She is so much fun. And neither one of us sold anything. So I brought these items. I'm bringing them again. I have 11, and I'm going to show you the jewelry. All righty then. So the first item, and I got to be my own mod over here. Man, being my own mod. This starting bid is, it's a whole thing with me, you guys. It's just a whole thing. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, what you see is what you get. And, you hear me in the chats, through chatting. You have a good idea of my personality. It's a little gregarious. So starting bid is in the chat. And there you go. Boom, look at me like a pro. Okay. Starting bid is 18. It is for this beautiful, very heavy gold painted cobalt blue vase. Now, why on earth is it 18? Why isn't it 12? Well, I'm going to tell you. Here's the bottom. It is a smooth pontil. Let's get it over here. Like my beetle nails. It is a smooth pontil. But what I discovered about this, it is very heavy gold paint, not light. And I have a theory. I have two theories about this. What I discovered, Mr. E.L. Page. Well, hello, my friend Patty Rose. Look at all you people coming to my channel. Maybe I should go on later on a regular basis at the last minute. Look at the lip of this bottle. Do you see how one side is thicker and one side is thinner? This is not a Viking. I don't know what company it is, but this is turn of the century blown glass. Do you see the mold marks, straw marks, whatever you want to call them in there within the bottle? See that? This is a much older piece of cobalt blue blown glass vase. So, and it's either been incredibly well taken care of, or another theory is someone got gold paint, real gold paint, and painted it later on. Either way, it's antique and it's beautiful. It is, this big. This big, which means it's how big? 6 inches tall. 6 inches tall by about 3 inches in diameter at its widest part. But it deserves to be at a higher price. It is really cool. And that is my first of 11 or so items. And I'm putting it back over here on my cart. Oh, so carefully. And it's not thick, it's thin. So let's hide this. And how did I highlight your Becky? It is Becky. And the reason we'll say pass for now. Oh. Good Lord. No. Y'all. Speaking of technology, I click some buttons and all kinds of things just happen. So yeah, George the Antique Nomad was talking about, and we all know now that the cobalt blue formula is gone because we can't get the cobalt part. So they'll bring something back, but it will never be this blue. And this is pure, beautiful cobalt blue. And if no one ever winds up buying it, I bring it back several times, it'll go in my collection and I'll be okay with that. Starting bid on this next item is, I made these $22. Got it in the chat and I can put it up there. It's amazing. I amaze myself. Okay. Sorry, I'm in a mood. It's actually been a really rough week over here with my dad and some big medical tests and some decline and emotional, like trying to sort out feelings for him, and it's been hard. So today is not hard, so I'm just sassy. Okay, so this starts at 22. This is an older, AR, Artisan Riconanda. Riconanda? Is that how you say it, y'all? Help me out. And I'll show you the bottom so you can see. It still has this interesting label from something. I don't know what, like an antique dealer or something. There is the mark. I think that's upside down. I always do that in StreamYard, but I don't really know because this is, okay, when I saw this, I thought it was that because of the crazy lamp lady, but it's the first time I've ever seen one. So I picked it up and brought it, and I was just like, well, it looks like that, but I don't know. And then it was confirmed by Tammy Renee with Jenna that it is. Now, this is a Siamese cat. It's the Artisan Recon, blah, 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 right? And I cannot find this cat. I went down tons of rabbit holes, looking in catalogs, looking on eBay, looking everywhere. This cat is older, definitely retired. One of their earlier pieces. These blue eyes are extremely rare. I found one blue-eyed Siamese cat like this, but its paw was up and its tongue was out and it was cleaning itself. And that was $400. Now, I don't think this piece is worth $400, but I'm pretty sure it's probably worth 50 or 60 or more. It is very hard to find these with the blue eyes. And then it has the telltale orange coloring in the back that fades down. It's in perfect condition. And if you know this piece and if you know the feel, then you know. If you know this, and of course this is matte. If you know this artist and if you know anything about these, then you know. I thank you, Becky. I learned that this particular eye color is very rare. I could not find one that looks like this online, except the one licking its fingers. I mean, licking its, they don't have fingers. Paws. Licking its paws. So it starts at 22. It's a beautiful piece if you love cats and if you like this particular artist. And the feel is just, it's just fantastic. And then, like I said, it's got these details. That's really nice. I can see why Jocelyn would collect it. I totally get that. Okay. Artisana Rinconada. I feel like, does anyone remember there was a book when my daughter was little that I used to read her. It was like Tiki Tiki Timbo, No Saw Rimbo, Peri Peri Pimbo, some crazy thing. And I guess it was like to help them learn the sounds of words. Anyone else remember that book? When I try to say that, that's what I feel like I'm doing, like this tongue twister. And I don't remember the name of the book. We'll pass on that for now. If anyone remembers the name of that book, it was a really fun book. And it was really meant to just be a tongue twister. Okay, this next item starts at 20. And look, I can highlight things. Oof. So let me know. Ricky Tiki Tavi, is that the name of the book, Becky? Or are you just continuing to riff on that long thing? I used to know it by heart when my daughter was little. I loved it. Oh, I have to be careful moving these things because the antique vase is right next to Kitty. I don't like that. So I'm going to do something different. Okay. This is late 60s possibly earlier, but definitively no more than very early 70s Mexican water jug redware pottery. It is, good Lord, it is unglazed and it is fabulous. I paid up for this, so I am not making a whole lot more than what I paid, but I could not let it sit there because it is okay. If you like pottery, if you like earthenware, if you like garden displays, if you like pottery, if you like this beautiful older hand painted items and functional water jug, then you understand what I mean. And look at how beautifully it's painted. And it weighs almost 2 pounds, but that's actually pretty light for how big of a piece it is. You see this over here? I always have been wondering if that's like a hidden little signature. I have no idea. But I love this coloring. I just love this coloring. And the leaf, here's the inside. And yeah, these would just be filled with water and taken out into the field and drink out of them. And or you would pour your water on your actual table and use them. They're a functional jug. So here's the bottom. It's just raw. That is like just little bits of paper and things that over the year have just kind of stuck in the bottom. I could scrub and maybe get it off, but that to me just shows the age, and I didn't want to do that. I like to leave things alone and let someone else decide what they're going to do. So how big is it? About as big as my head. Hey, Being Marty, how's it going? I hope you got your package by now and that you appreciated it, you enjoyed it, that it was what you expected, is what I'm trying to say. So this is about almost 10 inches tall and almost 7 inches in diameter. It's a big piece, and it's going to take the right person. I know that, but it's everything. I have something similar to this, and it's actually on a metal stand in my living room. Yeah, okie dokie. Now, like I said, I'm moving this piece back here because it's making me nervous. Okay, pass for now. I appreciate you guys popping up with me. I really do. That makes me feel I've been having a good day after having a really hard week. Thank you. Thank you. You guys don't know this, not all of you, but you are my mental health support. Vintage is like my vintage, take me away. You are my support system. So thank you. I appreciate it so much. Okay, this starts at 35. And I have to unhighlight that. Wait a minute. See, and even with knowing how to do it, I'm still making mistakes. Oh, thank you, Becky. Okay, listen. For anyone who's not subscribed to my friend Becky's Vintage and More over here, that's her name on YouTube. Go check her out. She's pretty freaking fabulous. And Miss Karen Chasin Vintage and Dandy. Almost everyone who's in here. Sandy. Who am I missing? Let me know who I'm missing. And any one of you who wants to drop your link in, do it. Because I adore all of you. And several of you I work with. And others of you I would like to work with. So drop your link, please. It's all good. This community to me is not about competition. It's about supporting each other's small businesses. So I'm all about it. Feel free. Okay. This starts at $35. What is it that I'm starting? Oh, this. I couldn't believe that I found this. And there was a totally different one, like a matte, heavy oil slick, really big one, but it was $95 and there was no way that I could bring it to you all. But it was probably worth every penny. So this starts at $35. It is clawfoot. You see the clawfoot like the bathtubs and the pianos? You know what I'm talking about. Clawfoot bathtubs, clawfoot pianos. So it's got the claw feet. And then it's got that butterfly and the grapes. It's got this fabulous older, like random crimping all along the top. Marigold, carnival glass style. But it is an antique Fenton piece, which doesn't mean it's not carnival, but it is an antique Fenton piece. There is the bottom. It is not molded. Inside are two panthers. This is a pretty rare piece. That is why it's starting at $35. There are two. You see the panther? You see the, I always do this with streamer. There's the face. Here's his arms. Da, 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 da. Here's his tail. And there's two of them. And then it has this beautiful vine with heart flowers is what I'm calling them. You see the hearts right there? Just, this is a stunning piece. There's no wear. It's really beautiful. There's only a couple panthers out there right now. And they're more than this, with the exception of one. There's one out there that you can get for less than this. And I'm always going to be honest and tell you that. But the other ones are closer to $50 and $60. There is, I tell you if there's damage, there's no damage. And this, hold on. This is not a mold line, even though it looks like that. There's one. See the heavy, heavy glass on it? It's like raised and dripped. See that? Unless I'm completely out of my mind, because these are all just panels. Hashtag not a glass expert. And inside, those lines are not inside. So that is why it's either blown or molded. Oh boy, that light back there is really annoying. Let me get rid of it in a minute. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry. So this is 5 inches in diameter. 5 inches in diameter and about 2 inches tall. A little bit more than 2 inches. And it, I don't usually pick up carnival glass. It would have to be really special, but I didn't even know on Wednesday what this was. I thought it was more imperial, but I finally did more research and found 2 out there, and both of those were being called Fenton. And this butterfly, I recognize this butterfly from Fenton baskets. So I'm assuming that indeed those people know what they're talking about. Those panthers are just, I don't know. Was there a significance about panthers back in the day? Maybe. I mean, we made, we as in manufacturers made all those like Panther consoles. So maybe there's a significance. I'm going to go turn this light away from shining, staring at us. I don't know why it's doing that, but I can't stand it. Okay. There you go. That's really annoying. I feel better. Oh, Kathy. Kathy Wiseman. Hi, Kathy. I'll buy that. Okay. That works for me. Maybe, yeah, maybe it was the fascination with like, you know, we were really fascinated here in America for a long time with Africa and India, hence the Tarzan movies. I'm liking the thread, and especially 1800s into the turn of the century, because we were still, you know, learning and exploring and understanding biodiversity and animals. So, hey, I like that explanation. Okay, this item is really interesting. I had no idea what it was until today, but I knew it was something really special. So I picked it up, and sure enough, they are something really special. I have two of them. They are set for starting at 33. They are Sohn, S-O-H-N, Glydian pottery. Sohn Glydian pottery. I will show you. Number 35, which is, that was the mold for many of these. Here's the, boy, Glydian, G-L-I-D-D-E-N. And these are late, mid-50s, early 60s, MCM. There are not very many of these out there. These are what they call cocktail plates. And there I found in this square cocktail plates, there is this pottery out there. I think I found 6 altogether. And some are extremely high price, which is ridiculous. But the most of them are more like around the $40 individual to $50 or $60 for a pair. So this is his circus theme. This is his circus theme. So that is a juggler in, you know, his little striped outfit. At first I was thinking it was astrological, and maybe it was, you know, planets. But no, and you see that stylized mustache like an Italian circus juggler. It's so beautiful. It's so well done. And this is glazed and just so simplistic, that kind of MCM, just simplistic, really nice colors. And then the back is just the brown clay. I did not read, I can't remember where he came from. I think he came from Italy to the United States, but do your own deep dive. So this is the same Glydian number 35 because it's the cocktail plate. And this one is not the circus, but the menagerie collection. And this, of course, is a bull. So you can see why with that guy over there, maybe a Pisces or something. And I don't know. That's what I was thinking, Pisces. And then this is a Taurus. I mean, that's what I was thinking. But it's just so beautiful. It's just so beautiful. And there's really hardly any out there. And I think it's something special. Is that the starting bid? Yes, Karen, that's the starting bid for both of them. $33. Is that what you're asking me, honey, for the plates? I hope I'm addressing you correctly, answering you correctly. Yes. These are just, I think they're fabulous. And I can tell you, there's not that many out there. And I seriously doubt I will come across these again in my lifetime. I love this dude. I just love this dude. And let's see, what is the dimensions? Hey, thank you, Tammy Renee. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate you. I learned stuff from you yesterday, and you were so helpful. Not yesterday, Wednesday. You were so helpful modding. I just thank you, thank you, thank you. So they are 5 inches in diameter, these cocktail plates. Okay, and there's 2 of them, 33. All righty then. Let's put these. I hate moving this blue vase around. It's making me nervous. Okay. So, thank you. Sasha Brastoff. No, they're Glydian. Glidden. Karen. I'll type it in. Well, I have my caps on. So Glidden MCM. And they are cocktail plates. One is his menagerie collection, the bull, and the other is his circus collection. Yep. I learned something. Okay. Let's take that off. No. What am I doing? What am I doing? There you go. I did it. Okay. I do appreciate you all being here. And, you know, if you change your mind, let me know, because these are, I don't list on eBay. In fact of the matter is, I have an eBay store. I've had it for 23 years, but it doesn't work for me. It takes a fee. And after I'm done caregiving, I am going to be doing this business like 2/3 of a time, 2/3 of a time business. So not full time, but dang close. And I don't want to go through platforms where I have to pay fees. So this is where they are. This is where you can find it. And you're not going to find them elsewhere. And so this is your chance. Okay. So this starting bid, let me put my caps back on. Starting bid. This is one of the ones that's cheaper. 16. Now, I could not find this. And I have technology issues. My phone is always too full and I can't take a picture and then also have Google and do an image search. And it's just a whole thing. I'm working on it. I'm trying to deal with it. But in the meantime, I know that this is older. Do I know how old? I do not. I do not know the maker, but it's gorgeous. And I know it's older because it's blown. The top is applied to the bottom. You can feel the little bit of and see the little bit of lip right here. The sharp petals mimic the points all along down here. And you can see in here all the little straw marks or mold marks within the petals. There are 12 petals. Now, you know, initially one could think, oh, it's Viking. Well, I don't think it's Viking because the petals are too pointy. Viking is generally, in my mind, and I don't know my glass well enough, is generally sharper. I mean, not, less sharp, more open, softer, the exact opposite, softer. So I don't know the maker on this, but I know, I know it's not modern, and I know, like, okay, there's ways you can tell when you look at glass. Do you see those lines right on the other side of my, right there, the other side of my fingernail? And there's more like that. And in fact, oh, no, this one is where, sorry, see, take that back. This one is where the lines go up and down in a pattern mimicking the top. So that was a bad example. See how it does that? Almost like a picket fence. It mimics the top. There was a lot of thought put into this. But now, you see, when you get down here, you can just see the glass and how all the markings of how it was in the mold. If this was a modern remake of something, it would be very clean and crisp, and none of that's happening. So, I mean, you know, that's what I got. I'm slowly learning my glass more and more, but it's 5 inches by 5 inches in diameter. Very dark, beautiful green. $16. $16. Okay. We will pass on that for now. And I'm not doing a recap because other people have other places they want to go on a Friday night. And I want to give you an idea about my vintage jewelry. I'm just trying to come on here and sell you in one sale, eclectic mix of higher priced items, because I can't keep them all. I'm not getting. And so I thought, why not just do a sale that has like just the higher priced items? And if they don't sell today, okay, that sucks for me that I'm not making any sales this week. But then I'll work them in over the next couple months at other sales. But, so here's another thing. A lot of people have their eBay store or have their district store, or and they bring to YouTube lower priced items. And I know we're at the end of the month, and I know that none of us necessarily have a lot of money, and it's an output of money. I get it, but I do not want to and will not only bring you the $10, $8, $12 priced items. I will always bring you higher priced and the lower and kind of what you might call mid, the $20 to $15 range. Because I don't use eBay anymore. So this is where I sell them. So just to make that clear. And, that's not me. So if you really want to buy items that are, at that cheaper, more affordable range, I totally understand. Because I don't have a lot of money. That's just not going to be me. I do bring lower, but so just letting you know for the future, that's not me. Okay. So this starts at starting bid at 22. I do this for fun. I do this for my mental health, but I also do it to earn a living. So, I sell what I sell. I am what I am. I am what I am. It is a set of 3. And these are so cool. Again, a lot of these items, it has to go to the right person. So these are someone's personal collection. They went out, and if you saw my show Wednesday, you saw they went out and hand-picked certain flowers and picked up some other little things, pressed them, dried them, made sure they were perfectly flat and the colors were preserved, put them under glass on top of a board, and did the copper tape around them. Then they labeled what they were. This one is penstemon and yarrow leaves. Penstemon and yarrow leaves. And they are thick and they're just beautiful. This is the first one. It's for the whole set. This is the second one. I love this one. I literally feel like I'm looking down into a tide pool with this one. With this beautiful little pink shell and the two tiny white ones and that seaweed and moss on the black. I feel like I'm at the beach looking in a tide pool. And the same thing, pressed, flattened, and this one is more of a diorama because of the seashells, the copper tape around the glass and the felted bottom. And this one is scallop coquina and apple tree mosses. How cool is that? How cool is that? You know, I still haven't been to the, why are they calling me? I'm sorry, I still haven't been to the beach this season. When I go back home in about 3 weeks, I'm going to the beach. And this one, unfortunately, is not labeled, but it's gorgeous. The lights are reflecting all over the place. I'm so sorry. That's a little better. It says beautiful, teeny tiny red flowers. You can even see the center of them with the white mixed in. I don't know what they are, but this is also very diorama-y. Look at that. The copper tape and the green velvet. The label is missing from this one, so I have no idea. But so what I would do, I would space them apart on a wall. They're absolutely, these took someone hours and hours and hours of enormous love. It's one of a kind, and I think they're freaking fabulous. So I picked them up, and I won't be lowering the price on them because, I mean, I just can't imagine the love that went into these. Someone loved nature and just went out and found these most beautiful, precious things and took all this time and energy to do this and label them. So if anyone here likes the Victorian age, you know, and you've ever watched like the urban explorers go into the old mansions in Italy and France and everything, they break in, but they don't touch anything. They might open it and look at it, but they don't take it away. They close the cupboard. This kind of thing is something that you did in the Victorian age. You collected stones, you collected shells, you collected flowers and pressed them. And then you kept a little notebook, or you made microscope slides, or you made collections like these for hours and hours because they didn't have TV. They had books and they had their brain and they had a desire to go out and learn about botanicals and other things by touching and doing and making. So this is very Victorian hobby brought back. Probably this was done, I would say these are at least 20 years old, if not older. So, you know, I love that and appreciate that very much. Okay, so we're going to pass on that one also. I still appreciate that y'all are here. And dun, 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 dun. Okay, starting bid on this piece, and I know it's, just a pottery serving dish, y'all. I know, but this is a beautiful special one. It starts at 23. It's fantastic. And I paid up because when I see something that's really gorgeous, I pay up. I know it will eventually sell. I'm not worried about it. I have no fear. Look at these. I don't know what. Birds, butterflies, insects, just imagination. Maybe they're irises. I don't know. But they are just brown, matte, speckled, very earthenware, very down to earth boho type of thing. And then over on the sides is this incredible purple, blue, green, iridescent glaze. One is bigger and one is smaller. It's just beautiful. This is a really excellent example of studio pottery. And it is a serving platter. This is 12 inches around. This is not a dinner plate. There was one more, and I did pay up. I mean, I'm only making about $5 on this plate if someone bought it at 23. I am not making, $20. Trust me. If I had got this for $3, I would be asking 10. Okay. But I paid up. So, because I know someone's going to want it. And there is no artist mark on the back, but you can see the circles where they went round and round and round and made it just perfect. Look at that. It's very interesting. And there is no flaws in just this raw, beautiful brown ware. It's absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. Look at that. Imagine serving your accoutrements on this plate. It's beautiful. And I can't say that it's vintage because, I can't. So I will say, move on to the next item. Again, I appreciate those of you who are still here. And, I don't always pay up, and I do bring those middle of the road, and I do bring those cheaper items. I always charge less than eBay is asking. I never ask as much as they're asking. But I'm going to start doing this every couple weeks, just a higher end. And I'm going to start doing my vintage jewelry on once a week on eBay. Okay. This is a starting bid of 18. Now, this could be an example of vintage jewelry that I bring, but it's not the examples I brought to show you. This is carved bone. The brown, StreamYard. The brown, man, okay, let's put my fingers on it. The brown is dyed bone. It generally, this is older. Someone took old bone from that was, in the 60s and 70s and restrung it onto this stretchy bracelet. I am not for killing something just to use its bones to make jewelry. In what I know about bone, generally speaking, it is found in nature from something like a deer that's already dead, or it is like a cow that's already been made into meat. And if anyone's a vegetarian, I sincerely apologize. Okay, look away. Lemony snicket. But this, it is just beautiful. And how do I show you? If I turn it inside out, I can show you. And bone, hand carved bone, goes for a pretty penny because it's not, it's older and it does. See there? It's hard to see. This is very polished bone. The ends are usually the most telltale. And it was just strung onto a stretchy bracelet. It fits on my small wrist perfectly with a little bit of room. So this would fit on a medium wrist without a bunch of problems. There would just be a little bit of stretchy in between the seed beads. And that's very tight still. That's important. So brown and white carved bone pieces that someone restrung onto the stretchy bracelet with some black seed beads. I didn't bother to examine the black seed beads, so can't tell you much about them. Let's take this off. Okay. Number 10, I've showed before, but as long as I'm showing higher end items, I'm going to show you now. Boy, I hate the way this does this. Okay, there you go. I have an email program that insists on popping up and telling me all about it when I'm in the middle of things. And I don't care about it. I have to figure out how to turn that off. Okay, so I've brought this several times, and I've had it at a low price. I've had it much higher than this. This is my happy middle ground, and I won't be changing my happy middle ground again. And I can tell you, see, the straw is broken. I can tell. Yeah. Hold on, I'm going to open this. See the straw? This is what I'm telling you. I won't be listing it on eBay. 4 months ago, Jason at Mother Tucker's Antique sold one of these for, I think it was about $70. And if I was to go into an antique mall, this item would cost you probably about $80. So $25 is an excellent price. It is. Many of you who follow me have seen it. It is the Viking 3-footed silver overlay poppy design in immaculate condition. There is no wear at all to this beautiful silver poppy work. Here is the bottom. It is MCM. It is from the 60s. And it has its flower frog. These, you will often find the bowls, but you will not find the flower frog that goes inside. I actually found the flower frog about 6 months after I bought this bowl. I have to tell you that this price that I'm selling it at, $25, I'm taking a loss. I am taking a loss of what I've paid, but I want to pass it on. And I've brought this at $40. I've brought this at $35. I've brought it at $15. You know, it is now at $25. If it doesn't sell by the time I'm done being at my father's, it is going to go on my shelf. I don't really want to keep it, but I will. And I will put beautiful little flowers in here or marbles on top of it or something. But I would really like to, even though I'm taking a loss, sell it to someone who sees the beauty in it and is going to love it. I mean, I like it, but I don't love it. And I want items to be with people who love it. Right? So, I mean, the things that I have and that I keep are a few things by default, but mostly it's things that I love. That's why I buy them, and that's why I keep them. I'll buy from other resellers because I know that I can make, a couple other dollars off of it or something. Mostly, though, I buy from other resellers the things they bring that I love. And this is a fantastic piece. I'm telling you, look them up. It's just not, my particular passion. It is about 5 inches in diameter and about 3.5 inches, almost 4 inches tall. And the flower frog, oh boy, it comes out. It doesn't want to come out right now. Why not? Oh, it doesn't want to come out. Yeah, there it goes. The flower frog comes out. But it is the correct one. 3, 6, 8. It's 11 holes. Why 11 and not 12? I do not know. Maybe someone could tell me someday. Why did they only make 11 instead of 12? Interesting, right? Bad luck and even doesn't? I don't know. Okay. So we're going to pass on that too. Nonetheless, I appreciate anyone who's still here. And I'm almost done with the items I bought for this hour. And then I'm going to show you some examples of jewelry. Now, this I put in as an 11th item because I realized, oh my God, this is like one of the best items I have. And I need to show it today. So let me move that out of the way so I don't spill it everywhere. Now that I've taken the broken paper straw that turns into mush away. Okay. This is a starting bid of $35. And I want to tell you, it's an excellent deal. I knew immediately that it was something really cool. Then when I went to research it, I can find exactly one, the teapot. And I can only find a couple plates, a chip and dip, and I think it was a chocolate pot. And another teapot, but in a completely different pattern wave. So this is a California pottery piece, and this is rare, and this is from the 1930s, early 40s. There's California pottery. It is Santa Ana. Let me get up and get it. It is Santa Ana ware, and it is beautiful. Anyone who knows their California potteries and knows how it feels and how it looks when it's in front of you will recognize. You see the Art Deco flow to this piece and the lid. It is right at the tail end of Art Deco. The blue is this like light turquoise blue. It's just beautiful. This teapot would hold 4 to 6 cups of tea. It's sleek and it's beautiful. There is no damage. This was someone's grandmother's teapot. It has the 2 little things so it stays in firmly, but only one hole right there, so that when you put in one like that, you have to turn it very gently until the other one also goes in so that the lid stays on when you pour your tea. How cool is that, right? There's a little bit of wear because this thing is almost 100 years old. To the lip, that seems reasonable. Boy, I wish I had the cups for it. Here is the Santa Anita ware made in California. Absolutely so cool. Look how big this is. I mean, it is, 9 inches tall in the diameter. And I'll show you the, and I'll tell you why it's only $35. This should be legitimately, it's about 6 inches in diameter. And it is 8.5 inches tall. This should be about $100 for the set. But I got it, for a better price. So I'm not going to do that to you. And here's the creamer. Here's the creamer. It's just like this satiny turquoise. California pottery was known for its glazes. This is the glaze. It's almost like there's a word of another maker in my head. Santa Ana ware. And now here's why it's only $35. Thank you, Becky. Here's the sugar. See that deco? But there's no lid. And while I did see a lot of Santa Ana ware, not a lot, I saw another set of Santa Ana ware in a different pattern that was newer. And the sugar was open. There was no lid. And it was obvious that that's the way it came. The way this one has the inner lip, I believe it's supposed to have a lid that looks exactly like the teapot, but it's gone. So it is now an open sugar. So that's why it's $35. But you won't find this. These are gone. And a lot of these California pottery companies were pretty small. I once had a list and there was like 170 something pottery places in LA from the 20s during to the 40s, and they started disappearing in the 50s. They were pretty much gone by the 60s, and a lot of them were just tiny and obscure. And I think this was one of those tiny obscure ones because there just isn't anything out there. So I'm going to just show you, just so you see one more time, because you might change your mind or someone might see this incredible, the teapot alone is worth $35. The teapot, for the rest of it is like a bargain. It's just an add-on. Okay. So I see I've got 6 people here and I'm going to pass. So what I'm going to say before I just put up and show you some examples of the vintage jewelry that I'm going to start selling once a week. I think I'll probably sell vintage jewelry sales on Friday, just for an hour, maybe Saturday, but probably Friday, because I like to go picking on the weekends. I'm not offering it up for sale because I know people want to go to other places. However, as I show you examples of the type of things that I will be bringing, and I have a lot of knowledge about vintage jewelry. No, I do not have well, that's a lie. I do have a few pieces that are very high end, but only a few. I have the good grade and some lower grade, but kitschy, very cool vintage jewelry. I've been dealing in vintage jewelry for 25 years. So it's not for sale, but if you see something you like, put it in the chat and say, wait a minute. Well, how much would you charge me? I'll make up a price on the spot and let you know. How's that? Okay. And occasionally, like this one piece here, I bring something that's vintage inspired. Okay, so this piece, because it's abalone and it's dyed abalone and it's the faux green. Are these glass? Yep, glass Japanese pearls. This is vintage pieces taken apart. Hold on. Let me look at that one more time. Yes, taken apart and put back together. So it is vintage, but it's also vintage inspired. These beads, these crystal glass beads, they're vintage. These findings are very old. These metal findings. I believe the metal findings came off of, God knows, maybe with the faux glass pearls, possibly with these Aurora Borealis stones. And then the abalone is from something entirely different, the green dyed abalone. There isn't abalone beads out there anymore, dyed or plain. But you can see that this is a newer clasp. So but they still use the older findings to put the newer clasp on. These findings, the way that they're kind of corroded and the way they're put together, instead of being regular eyes, these are likely from the 1930s. So this is a very interesting necklace. So it is vintage, but it's not in its original form. And it's quite beautiful. Okay. Then I picked up this a little while back, and I've been waiting to bring it. It's so cool. And this is red. Excuse me. I've been having allergies lately. This is red glass. This is most likely also from the 1920s, 1930s. This is poured and cut, not exactly the same size, rectangular, red glass and red glass seed beads. Put together on plain sewing string. Now, one thing I will say about that, I know my jewelry. So you just have to kind of go on faith, or if you know your jewelry yourself, you too would know that this is older. But what I'm going to say is this: the fact that it's on plain white sewing thread says to me, and you see the gold, how this is gold and it's a really new clasp. Again, this was restrung, and this was restrung probably in the 50s or 60s by someone in an attempt to save it onto sewing thread. These beads are worth a lot, but if this was me and I was to buy it, and I would be selling this for about $20, which is a good price, I would restring it on fishing line. The clasp is fine. It's not a problem. But this string, you're going to lose the whole thing. I used to go into this store across the street from the Berkeley flea market that I forgot their name. It's the cutest name ever. And I think they're still there. It was like beads and lace or something, all old Victorian. And they had like vials of the old blue, cobalt blue, 1800 glass beads and the black jet morning jewelry beads and all this other stuff. And you could buy like a vial that big for like $30. Okay. And those prices have remained stable or gone up. So this is a type of beads that I would have bought in there. and paid a lot more than 20 for. Absolutely stunning. Okay, so that's a couple examples of that. And then, of course, I also have items like this. And you forgive me, this is all just in a bag. I have your really standard, better quality pastel on gold tone, kind of pot metal bracelet. There's the bows. There's all the different cuts of the beads. Here's the clasp. These are from the 50s. Here's the back. Nice puddling. These are the type of rhinestones that are tucked in with the little side prongs there. And there's multiple ones. So it's kind of, this is kind of like a starburst above the ribbon. And then it has this gorgeous pastel blue. And then you know it's a better quality piece because not only does it have the clasp that closes, but this additional chain with this that also attaches so that you not only close the clasp, but you put this chain on. So this is a higher end costume jewelry piece that you would have found in a really good department store. And with this particular piece, I have some like this and some not. With this particular piece, I happen to have the necklace. Look how fabulous that is. And you can see, I was just watching Jason, I forgot the rest of his name, that Steph told everyone to go and watch. I binge watched Jason and his jewelry. And he was talking about this type of rectangular metal chain links and how the really good ones and let me see this one. The really good ones in metalwork would have in between the chain links. I really want to get this right. Findings that were solid and closed, meaning that they were welded shut. Jason Adams. Yes, Becky, exactly. Now, this one is from the 50s, and his work was, from the turn of the century metalwork. This one is done really, really well, but the finding, there it is. You see that tiny line? The finding is indeed openable, but this type of chain is a much higher quality chain. And then here's the clasp with the ball and the hook and ball clasp. And does it have a name? I do not see one. It would typically be written on the hook here. It is not. So more than likely, this set of the necklace and the bracelet had, oh, look, there it is. It's on the bracelet. Is it Coro? Because that's what I was thinking in my mind. And indeed, it's Coro. Coro is a highly collectible, better quality costume jewelry known for their stonework and their very excellent puddling to enhance the stones. And Coro has been collectible for decades and it retains its value. So this, then there should have been earrings with this, but I do not have them. So this is a Coro piece. And of course I would sell those together. So I'll show you a few more and then we can all go off to our other places and I'll go see what my dad's doing and have some dinner. Then I have pieces like this, and I actually have the bracelet for this at home. And does this have a name? I don't remember. It has a hang tag. It has a hang tag, but no name. Interesting. I have the bracelet. Maybe the bracelet at home. I forgot to bring it. This is a enameled choker, white enameled choker. And it, I know the maker, but I can't for the life of me. This is also from the early 50s. You see how the oh good Lord, how they bent over the piece that connects them. They joined it like that instead of with the little round findings. See? That is a sign of quality. This baked on enameled paint is fantastic. But so that you see right there? And then they bent it to hold the pieces together instead of those more flimsy, small, in between metal findings that break so easily. And then it's just like that. And it does have this hang tag, but there is no, that's a great screenshot. There is no tag on it. And see this big hook opening? I would almost venture to say that this, because the hook is so big and open like that, this could be as early as the 30s. But I would have to do a little more research to be definitive and not lie to you guys. I don't want to do that. Okay, a couple more and then we'll close. This is thermoset plastic. That's what this is called. This is a green wave. It's a type of plastic called thermoset. I put the other bracelet down. Yeah, Jason really got me going. I wish that the green was showing up better. There you go. It has that kind of translucent iridescence. Here's the back. Nice puddling. And I am pretty sure that this is, it's a thermoset. Here's the clasp. And I'm not seeing the name. And that surprises me because right off the bat, I was thinking Coro. It doesn't say Coro, doesn't have a name, but this, I will research thermoset plastic bracelets because I remember this being a Coro. So I'll research it before I have my sale next week. And then I have just really dainty 1920s, beautiful blue enameled, silver worked. It's silver tone. It's not real silver, with these little dainty seed pearls. I am hard pressed to tell you if these pearls are real or not, but when they did morning jewelry type of things, there's a little discoloration there. It might wash off. They used real tiny pearls. So I can't imagine they are, but they seem like it. And if you look, where is it? Right here. You see how that fine filigree work was done? That leaf has come out of the wrap, the silver wrap. It's very fine and delicate. This weighs literally nothing. It is just, and there's that piece where the leaf needs to be pushed back into the filigree work. And I doubt that I am going to get a name off of here because, but I will look. I've held on to this forever because it's one of my favorite pieces. There's another piece where the flower. Yeah, and this is, you know, honestly, just, and then I'm going to close. The clasp screams silver to me. And the filigree work where it's coming off of the enameled blue petals screams silver. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say at the very least, this is from the 20s, possibly the 10s, that the clasp and this filigree around the edges of the flowers, I believe it's actually sterling silver. Now, this back here is not, but I believe the front is. And I'll do a little more research on the pearls. And then, you know, I always just have, like, this came in a big bag from Steph. I think that this is also bone. The two plastics on wood glued together. Really thin, nice piece. It's something I'd wear all day long. Fact of the matter is, he might just get snatched right back up by me. Because that's what I do. And then, you know, your C clasp floral pens. Right? You know, Becky, I did used to do all that, like checking with a magnet, and I definitely test to see if things glow. Like this pin probably glows. Some of those stones in the coral piece likely glow. But I don't have like a testing kit or any of that. And the reality is that the majority of the jewelry that I will sell that's vintage is not going to be of the precious metal type. It's going to really be costume, you know, like these fantastic confetti clip-on earrings that you can use as sweater clips, right? I bought 4 of these from possibly Sandy. If she's still here, she'll let me know. So the majority is not going to be like a precious metal that I need to check. But I can and will check that piece, the silver, to see if a magnet sticks or not. That would be a big clue. So anyways, everyone, and oh, you know that bracelet I just showed you? I got this pair of earrings from Sandy. I think it was Sandy in a lot of 4. And look at these daisies with the Aurora Borealis stones. These clip-on earrings match the bracelet, even though they're completely different time periods and all that. Perfect, as far as I'm concerned. Good enough. Look at that. Boom. So that's a little intro to me. And, you know, I could go on and on. I mean, I have some Bakelite. I have, you know, listener, yada, yada, yada. Oh, the thermostat might be listener. That I think that's what I'm thinking of. Anyway, that's me. This is me. Something like that. That's what I brought today. I just wanted to show everyone, do a sale of my higher end items and show you upcoming what I'm going to be bringing, you know, for jewelry. And, you know, be warned, I do buy from other resellers when I see that it's a good lot and that, you know I can make even just a couple dollars more, including shipping on it. I will buy from you. I also have my own sources, and I have several boxes at home. So I'll have it for a while, and it is my first passion. So thank you to everyone who popped in today. I appreciate the heck out of you. If anyone is rewatching this and you're interested in an item, not so much the vintage jewelry, unless you really are, and then I'll throw you a price. Please let me know by Sunday, because I have a sale on Monday with Miss Karen Chasing Vintage and Becky's Vintage and More Monday. And then Wednesday next week, it is me and Miss Karen Chasing Vintage for WVV, Wednesday's Vintage Vendors. And that is at 3:30 Eastern. And our sale with Becky and Karen and I is at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific. And then I will be doing a Friday, 1 hour, maybe hour and a half, all vintage sale. I haven't put that up yet. I'm not sure of the time. So everyone have a fantastic weekend. I'm sure I'll see you over on Trisha's channel or somewhere. And many more channels this weekend. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you. Thank you. And if you're not subscribed to some of these wonderful people, do, because they're all lovely and I adore them.